think we're good to go. I think I've got everything set up. I did have to cover the chat. General housekeeping. I am sorry I didn't stream the last couple days. This is an MMO. This is an MMORPG. This is a massively online player game. Please, if you are playing this game, and because you can see my character's name, all that, I don't have it blocked out. And I'll probably say what server it's on in a bit. Just general housekeeping. Please, please do not send me a bunch of IMs. I do have the chat blocked for the reasons of the world chat, that sort of stuff. Yes, I can turn it off, but reality is I can't censor everything people are going to say in all the chats, so this is the easiest way to do it. The IMs make a sound. I will have to mute that sound if I get sent like 10 million of them. Please don't just start fellowship inviting me to do stuff. If I need help to do stuff, it's something I can ask. Most of the stuff I can get around solo, just because streaming in solo is a bit easier. All that fun stuff. Just really quickly make sure everything is still doing what it's supposed to do here in the background. I think it is. Make sure everything is being properly monitored, recorded, yada yada yada. And you probably hear it. I'm not feeling the best, which is why I didn't stream yesterday, and I was kind of a grouch. Which just in general did not want to stream while I was in a grouchy mood, because I was already getting fed up with another game and some of the smaller system stuff in it. That really is just a non-issue. It's more like quality of life could be fixed kind of things. So, not my best moment. Did not stream because, yeah, nobody wants to deal with that one. Two things. This is Mariner. I feel like played a Mariner in the past, but I haven't done much with it, and I kind of was just like, okay, yeah, I'll pick it up again. Did not really register what happening was this happening with the system of it, and kept getting staggered and stunned, and I was so confused as to what was going on. I ended up talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh yeah, if the bar goes all the way to one end or all the way to the other end, you lose balance. You're supposed to kind of go one way and then go back the other way and try to keep it closer to the middle." So we're not going to do what I was doing last time and try to fill the bar, because I was assuming it runs a little bit like another class. Oopsies. So we know it does not now. So we'll get that one sorted out. We'll try not to do that. I need to do the crafting quests first. Oh, what professions do I want to learn? The problem is, because I'm streaming and this account isn't used, I don't want to skip it. I want to do the quest. But it's going to make me pick 3 for sure for this one. So I might just technically pick 3 of the easiest that I can just kind of not really have to worry about, because I have other alts that can do a majority of the other ones, and I have a couple alts who are way further ahead. Where's the other one? Oh, Prospector, there we go.
Welcome here, as long as you do not trouble us. It is
Volume.
not our custom to trust to Goliad, but perhaps you may be of help to me. It is not our custom to trust to Goliad, but perhaps you may be of help to me.
Yeah, don't leave volumes too. I think we're good.
As the sun shines, you are welcome here. May the spirits be with you.
Okay, so workbench, I need to make piece of brushed leather. Ignore how bad my inventory looks right now. I am working on it. It's gonna be going to a vault and getting some of the stuff put in the vault. Move some stuff in my bars again around. Because again, I'm not really gonna do too much with this.
Welcome, traveler.
Downside, I don't think there's a forge in this particular area. I have to go to this area or up there, right? Okay, there's a vault right there. Perfect. So I can put some stuff away. Then you go up here, I think, for the forge. It's been a while. I know I've done this intro in the past. And I actually really recently did it as well. Completely forgot where some of this stuff was, because I didn't use it for that character. Also, I will say the toolkits that you get, multi-tool toolkits and stuff having to switch all the time, are a lifesaver. I still like the all-in-ones. I do know there are better Mostly because I feel like somebody's going to grouch at me if I call those the best. They're the best in my opinion, because I can finish up crafting on a character and toss them to another alt, and the alt can use them. I don't have to craft something else, but I also understand they don't have the best stats out of all the crafting stuff that you can get now. Okay, do that.
May the spirits be with you.
So I think the other one is actually up here somewhere. There's kind of like multiple different crafting areas. Maybe? Or did I just miss him over here royally? That is also possible. And yes, my throat is a little bit hoarse. I kind of don't have as much control over that right now. It's about halfway between maybe start of cold and the other half just ended up finding a very sharp point on a tooth and did what most people do and ended up basically giving my tongue a really, really bad day with it. And stuff like, oh yeah, I probably should stop messing with that. But mostly I think just it is now the time of year for colds. Hello, Cece. Would you like to say hello? Would you like to say hello? She's doing that. Who, me? Me? Do I want to say hello? Yes, you, kitty. Would you like to say hello? I won't be able to really use any of these, but I can make something. It's also just not something I would be able to, yeah, like, use it all, and I don't think it's something I can get unlocked later either. Okay, well, that's done.
Yes.
Oh, nope, sorry, Cece. Can't put you on my desk just yet. Maybe close to the end of the stream. We can have you up on my desk. She's having a moment of like, what do you mean I can't be on your desk? How dare? I'm sorry, kitty. Now I should move. I'll keep them even though I'm not going to use them. I'll just probably end up replacing them with something later. Nope, sorry, kitty. No desk cat today, not for right now. There we go. Yep, Vault Keeper. I don't have a ton of room, but I should have enough room for the stuff I want to move over. I do actually want to keep the Mariner outfit that you first get, because I think it's kind of nice. I'm going to keep this stuff for now, because I don't think I have another alt that has it. Just yet, anyway. Oop, I don't need that. Put that in there. No, that's for another class that I don't need right now, so I will mess with that later. I am petting Cece in the background, hoping that she's not going to try to jump on my desk, but I have a feeling the second I stop, she's going to. I don't think I equipped it or de-equipped it, but maybe I did. Not sure what happened there. Gave me the equip sound for whatever reason. I might have accidentally just switched it with another one that I have there. Not a problem though. Okay, what was the thing? It looks like there's another quest over here. Is it just the Okay, it's a VIP rewards, which I'll take because it'll allow me to
Will you give me a
sell on the
moment of your
go.
time, friend?
I don't really need the crafting
Hello
potion, but
there.
it does help. This helps a ton. Mostly just for that vendor where it's like, hey, you need to sell stuff, your inventory is full, and now you can do it on the go. So much nicer in the long run. Might have to pop to the store later and buy a bag of cough drops, because I don't think we have any in the house. Mostly because I never have to use them. For once, though, I kind of do. Okay, that's not too far. This area is really, really nice, though. I do enjoy it. We'll see how our combat goes today, though. I'm assuming it'll be fine, but we will find out if I do any better. And I think this character, we've already lost out on the, oh, if you don't die within like a certain amount of levels, you get a bunch of titles. And I think I've already failed that, if I remember right. I think we're up to 1 death now, if not 2. Okay, I'm actually pretty high level compared to some of the stuff here. How close am I? Oh yeah, pretty close. Pretty close to where we need to be. Hopefully we're not getting any more mystery meat if it asks us for meat again, because that was interesting. I think we got a couple wargs and a couple of other things as what were supposed to be choice cuts of meat for the hobbits in the beginning. A little odd. Not what I would definitely give anybody, with the requirement of it being choice
Nice
cuts
of
of
you to
meat.
finally arrive. What took you so long? Have you had to look after 3 teenagers in the wilderness for a week straight? Oh, that'll exhaust anyone.
I have 3 peoples, Margit, Darren, and Marig. They're great students with lots of potential. While I'm their teacher, they're old enough to take on responsibilities of their own. I'd like for you to help each of them with a task they are working on. I think it'll be helpful for them to play teacher for once. Darren is this club fellow right next to me. Margaret is over by the Blood Hollow proper. Last I saw, she was talking to taking a little break after felling a few of the beasts. Murg is down the hill by the river. What will I be doing? I have had a long week. I might go nap. Have you had to look after 3 children in the wilderness for a week straight? That'll exhaust anyone. No, Cece, I'm sorry. Not desk time for Kitty. I am sorry, Kitty. You just gotta wait. She's really, really wanting on my desk. No, oh, okay. I'll let you have a little bit of a moment of hi. Come say hi. Say hello. You say hello to everyone. There you go. You say hi for a little bit. Oh, it's another jacket with strings. That's what it is. You want the strings on my sweatshirt? No. Your cat brain sees something wiggly and decides that it has to be caught. It's going inside my jacket where you can't get it. Thank you. I do believe that little smack was in protest. I'm sorry, but you don't need to play with it just because it exists. This is why you're not allowed to run my cords either. Because you would try to destroy my cords. Head empty, no thoughts? I know. Head empty, no thoughts. Poor kitty. Poor bullied kitty. Okay. Can you get off my desk now? No, you're gonna cling to my shirt. Okay, off my desk. No, no. No, we're not going to dig into my shirt. No. No. Thank you. There we go. Now you're safe and out of the way. And I now have hair on my face again.
My name is Devin, and I have a slightly morbid request to make of you.
Hello, my name is Devin, and I'm a warrior scout in training. My specialty lies in the study of plants, especially those with particular properties. I have a morbid request to make of you, and the wargs to the east have, piled the bones of their victims in a rather dramatic fashion. You'll note that some of these bones have vines with purple flowers growing from them. Could you pluck some for me? Oh, and you should know, I asked Margit to gather some, and she made the incredible discovery that this plant is poisonous to the touch. Perhaps wear gloves. Well, that's nice. I must be going that way for it, I think. Not quite sure why the audio is a little wacky for me. I think it's actually coming through fine. But for me, it's just a little bit wacky in the background. Okay, that actually went a lot better than it did originally. I'm not quite sure what the dogs are barking at. I'm assuming somebody might have delivered something. It's kind of that time of year. Is it here? Oh. No, but this is part of another quest. Now, the Uruk-hai was slain by a sword, much like the one he carried. Okay. Well, that's interesting. There we go. In a hilarious turn of events, the game chat is actually... People in the game chat are actually talking about cats. And mine has been insistent that she wants my desk. Funny, unusual timing, but very interesting. Okay, the quest should be here somewhere. Oh, yep, I see a name right here. Let me head this way a second and see if it's... that it's back here, maybe? Vaguely feel like that is what I'm remembering.
Take
There we
down
go.
a few wargs, and at least one of the really big ones. Try not to get yourself killed.
Okay, the old man, Talfrin, said that we should be stewards of the land, both as a sign of respect to the wildlife of this place as well as for the sake of our new neighbors. The wargs in this area will endanger that safety, as they will attack all living things in sight, even without any hunger. Perhaps facing them will be the best way for me to contribute. But Aluna said we should give you work to do. I understand what her goal is in asking us to do that, but I suppose I could take a break. Why don't you go thin the pack for me? Take down a few of the wargs, and at least one of the big ones. Try not to get yourself killed. I'll take care of every warg you can't handle. Well, that'll be interesting. Considering we technically have plot armor. there we go. Do I have a cleanse? Yes, I do. Okay. I only use one, so I'll have to do some use of it. That, or just let this time out, which I think is probably what's going to have to happen. No. We are going to have to use that. That is 2 minutes worth of that. Can't scrap that. Now I hear someone in the house in the background. I think talking to the dogs without realizing they are being incredibly loud, but to be fair, that particular person also has hearing issues. I'm not going to give him too much grief on that one. It is really funny that every so often, I'll go back and I realize that something they've said has just vaguely been picked up in the background. Well, that was quick. And more bleeds I'll have to cleanse in here in a second. Okay, that's one. To be fair, it's not doing too much to my health in a way where I'm like, okay, this is actually really worrying. Hello, Mr. Warg. There we go. I'm still going to take out a few more of you because I need to get more of the nightshade. Oh, well, it's not down here, apparently. Okay, is it down here by chance further? I don't think it is a further way down. That's about as far down that goes. Okay, so I'm missing something further up, maybe. There's gonna be an area with a few more of the plants. Or the bone piles. Oh, yep, here we are. Oh, can I get up there? This way? Yes, I can. Very nice. Every once in a while you find a mildly inconvenient invisible wall in a very odd place. Ooh, I'm missing one. Okay. Oh, there's one down here. Okay. Crisis averted. Problem solved. Maybe. Maybe not. It looks like there's more down here, and I've taken the short way down. With some lag. It's gonna take me a while to learn how to play this character, and the main reason is because I'm playing them like once a week. If even that. The last couple weeks I haven't, so it's gonna be very slowly memorizing how to actually play this character, whereas I probably could have done this with a class I know a little bit more and done fine. But to be fair, it is adding a challenge and it is working fine. Just in a very odd, off-balance way. Let me do that, because it'll mean I can see where this person is easier.
Maybe it'd be fun to
There we go. Now, I probably should have read what I said when I turned it in. I didn't. Oops. Having to remember I have to do this, because normally when I'm questing, it's like I'm really quickly reading it and moving on. Urban area I've quested a few times and I forget to entirely.
Though born of death,
I guess the flowers I asked for.
perhaps these flowers could do much for the living.
Darren indicates a mortar for depositing the flowers. You must be curious about what I plan to do with these. Perhaps I'll concoct some vile poison with which to threaten our new neighbors. Don't be silly. Many poisonous plants have incredible medical properties if ingested in the correct quantities. Though born of death, perhaps these flowers could do much for the living. We'll ask you to injustice and deprive Margaret of the opportunity to prove she's one of the toughest warriors in our people's storied history. I could never do that to such a dear friend. Yeah, that actually does make sense. Off the top of my head, Foxglove is one that is very much toxic, and yet is also has been, and I think still is used in medicine. I think specifically for heart conditions. That's the one where I'm like, yeah, you can't quote me so much on that one because I don't remember the exact thing I read. It was one of those going through stuff because originally I was going to take nursing and I was an EMT as well, and going through a lot of that stuff because it was just an interest of like, oh yeah, these are things that you can definitely come across, or like different medications that you need to know about. And somehow I got into an article of like, oh yeah, these plants are still modernly used and stuff. That was one of the ones listed, but I can't remember exactly for what.
My task is to find a reliable source of water for our scouting party.
You must be the adventurer that Eluna told me about. Yes, I know I was to report back already, but I have yet to complete my work. My task is to find a reliable water source of water for our scouting party. With such a great river near us, I thought this would be simple. The presence of Blood Hollow nearby complicates things. I'm concerned that its proximity may contaminate the water somehow. I'm working on a concoction that Darren taught me to make. When added to water, it will help determine if it is safe to drink or not. Could you collect samples of water for me? First sample should be from the riverbank near Blood Hollow. The second sample should be from further down the river from Blood Hollow. The third sample should be further still down the river from Blood Hollow. You get the idea. Okay. So one here, and I think one up here. Yep. And then maybe one the other way. I'll take a look at the skill I just got and make sure I put my points into my trait tree. Down this way, maybe? I'm not seeing a white floaty. There we go. There's the white floaty title. Now bring that back and see what he says. What timing? I just finished making the concoction. Merc arranges the samples of water you've collected into 3 separate basins of water. He then hands you 3 balls of a curious substance. Add 1 lump to the of the paste to each basin. Let us observe the results. Okay. The paste disperses into the water, rendering it a shade of brown that is best not described in further detail. The paste disperses slightly, making the water a little cloudy. The concoction sinks to the bottom of the water without dispersing at all.
Perhaps when Margaret's bloody work is complete, the waters around Blood Hollow will become more palatable.
Clearly the soil Blood Hollow has some effect on the water. For now, I will be sure to collect water from further downriver to make sure it is fit for myself and my comrades. Perhaps when Margaret's bloody work is complete, the waters around Blood Hollow will be more palatable. I'll return to the encampment shortly. Thank you for your aid. Nice, okay. Now we go talk to the person who's been teaching him, I think. Return to her and tell her that we've helped her students, at least. Though I have a feeling there's going to be a twist in here somewhere. Considering it isn't, telling us to talk to her. Yeah, it's telling us to talk to one of the other students. Admittedly, the one who's kind of, I think, in charge more so than the others. Or has been kind of also helping the others more. Oh yeah, she's not even, I don't think she's standing here either anymore. Nope. I take it you
at her unexplained absence.
I take it you finished the task Eluna set before you. Speaking of her dear instructor, have you seen her at all as you've been aiding us? She should have long since returned to us by now. She may be an unconventional teacher, but she is an excellent scout warrior. I grow concerned at her unexplained absence.
I hope
Interesting.
I'm worrying over nothing, but my instincts tell me something is wrong.
Luna said she was going to investigate something to the northwest of here. I'm going to rally the others and look for her. We would appreciate your continued assistance if you are inclined to lend it. I hope I'm worrying over nothing, but my instincts tell me something is wrong. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's a safe bet. To remove a corruption from our full. Interesting, okay. Let's move some stuff around on that. I'm wondering if I should kind of do a little bit of a mix of this. Nope, not quite what I meant, but that works. Do one that way, do one that way. I think that'll help a little bit for what I was doing, because I was trying to set them up so I'd either just use them on one side of the center or the other, and it kind of messed me up more than I'd want to admit. I just didn't understand how the mechanic worked. Okay, I'll try this and see how it goes. It reminds me a bit more of Berg the more I play it, but not quite. It's a little bit more complex. I've got a little bit of distance, yeah. Let's use our horse. Where is this person? They're really far out.
Won't you lend me your aid?
You notice some concerning tracks on our way here. Arya and Murig are following up on them down below. I'm staying up here to keep a lookout. I have a bad feeling about this adventure. We best keep our wits about us. Okay. Once I get back to town, I may take a quick pause. I want to continue on with the quests where we're doing them, but I do also have the map to the winter event. I might make a quick pit stop and do the winter event on this character.
What do you ask of me?
I spied two particular tough warriors among the chaff. Take down either one and it'll disrupt their whole force.
Go fight in my stead. They'll find Nurid unless you give them someone else to worry about.
Ventry always seem to find me just after the fun ends. She motions to the unconscious Dunlendings at her feet. These louts were searching for Eluna. Murig and I agreed to a simple plan. He searches for Eluna while I distract the search party by clobbering them. I took out a few, but these warriors are more fearsome than the beasts of Bloodhollow. She covers what is clearly a serious wound. Well, that's not great. If I remember, my weapons are still also not great because I was having a hard time finding replacements. I think that's yep, this will be 6. Okay, so 2 more. Then I need to figure out where the strong warrior that they're talking about is. Ah, here we go. Oh. Well, I don't think that was me getting too far with the one side or the other this time around. I think I just got stunned by a really good hit. Okay, those are those done. What are you gonna have me do now? So I have a feeling there's gonna be a little bit more.
What?
The folks back in Brindir must be furious with us if they're sending scout warriors.
What?
Remind me to think during the next time I see him, this salve works wonders. Also remind me to slap him in the face because the salve stings worse than a sickle fly. Or it appears to be in better condition than when you last spoke. Don't ask me why Bixby, the phone service thing, decided to try to launch in the background. Good job, though.
Darren went ahead to draw the bulk of them away, but we need you to split their forces even further.
Good news, while you were out being a menace, Murray found a way over to me. Urga's okay, but she's injured. We have to get her help soon, but the Durloth are blocking the only path she can manage. Durin went ahead to draw the bulk of them away, but we need you to split their forces even further. Pulls a horn from one of her bags and pushes it into your hands. Find a spot away from the road and blow this horn. Instead of Durigluth make, it should create enough of an opportunity for us to limp back to Lingran. Okay, and do that. So hopefully it leads me to the correct spot. Okay, yep. Oh, it's gonna be up past these bushes then, I think. Maybe? I'd hope it wouldn't be in the center of them. Okay, no, it's past him. Okay, well that one's dealt with. And I need to do a second one. And we are providing one heck of a distraction, apparently. Then I think we'll end up going back to the village. There we go. And will it be... Yep. It'll be back to the village. There we go. Off we go back, and I need to make sure I set my milestone there this time, so I don't have some issues with that. Especially if we go to the Yule thing, because I don't think we can get transportation directly back here. It'd be to Mossward, probably. Because it's technically the main hub for this area, or Hearn, I guess, would be for the next area we'll go to. Oh yeah, I need to actually go all the way back to Mossward as well. I went here, started the quest here, and didn't quite finish up the one in Mossward. Here you go.
Yes? Yes?
And we'll do that.
Leave us
But
alone.
no,
We
where
will
is
leave
the...
you in peace.
Here is the milestone. There it is. Okay, so now I'll be able to teleport back here. Let's go turn this one in Mossword in.
We have little to say to your kind.
I feel like I made progress in the quest before we got here, but maybe I didn't when we left off, because it is left off in such an odd location for going here. Because you should go here along with the epics, but I kind of, in a weird spot, did that. So let me check a thing with the audio. Audio. Do I have it on surround sound by chance? I wonder if it's on surround sound. For me, it sounds really weird, and I don't think it's coming through otherwise. And it could just be this specific headset, because I don't normally use it other than for streaming. I have a different one that I use for day-to-day. It does not sound like this normally for me. You bring interesting tidings. Sounds to me as if the Urks quarreled among themselves after they arrived in Swanfleet. But for what purpose? The warband may have been much larger than when it traveled from Endon Waith, and divided into 2 or more raiding parties when it crossed into Swanfleet. Perhaps the decision to attack Mossword was made not by the wizard but by the Urks themselves? It is curious. As for the swords you collected, perhaps Scaldi can melt them down and put them to better use than their former bearers. It is possible.
More Uruk blades? I didn't ask for these.
Well, Melindir's right, I suppose. I'll melt them down and turn them into arms for the defense of Mossword. No one will want to use them as they are now, but metal is metal in my experience.
Could you do something about Tegwin? He's been bothering me since this morning.
I could use a number of items to restock my supplies while you continue looking into the matter of the raiding party. Sharp stones, boar tusks, and carabin talons. And do you think you could do something about Tegwin? He's been bothering me with questions since this morning, and I need to get this work done. Yep.
What can I do to help the village? Can I come with you?
I'm ready for a more important adventuring task. What can I do to help the village? Can I come with you? Reluctantly, you send the boy reluctant to send the boy into danger, you ask that he patrol the outer palisade of Mossword. Okay, I guess I can do that. Maybe I can accompany you later? Considering we've established that there are Uruk-hai, probably not. I don't think it's a great idea. What is that quest here? Oh, it's the, I think it's the, a little bit extra quest, maybe. I think that is what it is. Okay, there's one of what we need. I just don't have something I can throw. Or long distance, at least. Well, don't ask me where my voice is deciding to go now. I was doing fine earlier. Or I was doing better earlier, not fine. Hello, you should not be here. I don't know if you'll drop anything at me, though. Hey, there's a carabin. Or craven. Actually, I'm really curious how this is meant to be pronounced. I've always said carabin, but I think it might be craven or otherwise pronounced, to be fair. Okay, we got those collected, so now I just need the boars, and I think I see one here. Yep. There we go. Another boar. Okay, and I think it's along the road, so I'm assuming the stones are going to be here somewhere, if I remember right. Yep. There we go. There's a whetstone. More, I think, along the way. Also, depending, it won't be this Saturday, it'll be Saturday the 20th. I'm going to try to do the walk from the beginning of the game to Mordor. I think it's going to start in the Shire. And it is on the server I'm currently on, is what's planned. And I do think I'm going to try to do it, but I have found out that I may not have a co-host for it. So you may just be with me for 6 hours. Mind you, their reasoning for why I might have a co-host is very valid, and completely understand that relatives are visiting, that sort of thing. Just all to figure out what I want to do with it and how I'm going to make it work. It will be a tad bit funny. With the added that more or less I'll have to figure out how I'm going to BRB, because there's going to be points where I'm going to need a BRB. That's the thing with streaming. Might have to just put someone random on follow. And kind of be like, hope for the best. It'll also be one of the only times I will use another character in-game on stream other than this character. This character is the designated, if I'm streaming, it's this character. If this character is online, it's purely because I'm streaming. I don't normally use any of the other characters I play, more or less because I don't really want to get into the issue of like, okay, well, you're on that character, why aren't you streaming, etc., because there are points where I do want to play with the game without streaming as well, because I'll go through it a lot faster and still enjoy it, mind you, but do other stuff with it and do more of the social work in it. Whereas, like, raids, that sort of stuff, whereas this is a little bit harder to do that. Definitely possible, have to get him a higher level, and anything I want to do would have to be very well planned out. But it would have to be very well planned out in a way that I don't need to use voice chat. Again, all it takes is one person saying the wrong thing, and I have a whole bunch of explaining to do. Even if I don't know them well enough, and it's just one of those, hey, this person's randomly there, you're doing stuff with them, and it's just, I don't assume that's what's going to happen, but you have to prepare for it to happen. Admittedly, with things like that, raids and stuff, it's understandable if people get frustrated when things don't work out or don't go well. Just you have to really prepare for it. So otherwise, this character is just really we're going to go through the game, do the storyline as much as possible, do the questing as much as possible, and just kind of enjoy the world. And me having fun with the nostalgia of it. But yeah, the walk to Mordor I'm really actually excited about. I think it'll be very fun. Just have to figure out how I'm going to do some of the parts of it. Especially with it supposedly people putting together that's going to take a very, very long amount of time. Nope. There you go. Okay, turn these into you.
Thank you for these items.
But I'll have you know this, I'm quite cross with you. All I want is to be left in peace, free to do my work, but folk are constantly barging in here, interrupting me and slowing down my work. That boy's mother was just in here, Wenna, and she says he hasn't returned home. Last I heard, you sent him to scout the edge of town, so you get to go looking for him. You send him back to his parents before they come bothering me again, will you? Well, that's a problem. You did technically send him out. Probably definitely shouldn't have, but we did. Nope, there's some boot prints. I'm assuming they're going to be old. Footprints trample the earth here on the outskirts of Mossward. Are they old, though? The footprints are old, but most likely made during the Urk attack on Mossward. Yeah.
Takeaway. He's missing.
It would not be the first time the boy has gone looking for trouble. But with Urks and goblins about, he might have gotten in over his head this time.
You say the boy might have found Uruk tracks leading north?
If he goes that way, he is likely to blunder into the Wadewater. Children in the village are forbidden from going there, but I will not seek to tell you that it has prevented the more adventurous sorts from exploring the marsh. If Tegwin tried tracking the Urks there, well, there are plenty of dangers in the Wadewater to begin with, let alone our recent troubles. You should follow the road northeast to the Dunlending town of Lungron. It sits on the eastern side of the Wadewater. Their scouts may have seen the boy. Perhaps he went to speak with the Dunlending villagers there and is even now enjoying their hospitality or their tales. We should not leap to judgment too soon. He may be in no danger at all. I feel like you have higher hopes for that boy than a lot of us do. Let's go check on him. And wait, let's go all the way back to that town. And wait, I can use the stable master. That will be quicker. Okay, this is when I should have popped in to that area, and instead I somehow got there a little bit earlier.
Greetings, friend.
There we go. I'm assuming somebody's going to meet us here and basically tell us that they hasn't been here. Oh, yep. I see who we're going to meet. Melindir has come to Lungron ahead of you.
I heard Tegwin has gone missing.
With Urks and Swanfleet, I felt it was wisest to begin the search as soon as possible. That said, if he is truly made for the Wadewater, I think the Urks may be the least of his problems. The footing there is unsteady, and it's like any marshland, the depth of the pools may be deceptive. And like any marshland, the depth of the pools may be deceptive. There are creatures in the Wadewater that would love nothing more than to make a supper of anyone who strays too near their domain. Most dangerous of these are the Anvak. Anvak? Lizard. Just giant lizard. We're gonna go with that. And we should hunt them as we seek the boy. Yes, very giant, would not want to be friends with lizard. I will aid them in a bit. Do that so I can actually properly track. I think there's, if I properly remember right, a bunch of them over here. Hello, Cece. Oh. Hi, turtle. I don't know why you're a very angry turtle. Ooh, plenty of swans. Let's see. Oh, yep, here they are. Giant lizard. There we go. I wonder if eventually that'll remove more than just one effect. Or if I'm going to be having to get some food here pretty soon, that can. Okay, where are we looking? I mean, aside from just me having to run through really tall bushes. I can just imagine this place smelling very, very interesting. Just basically... some of it isn't still water, but I imagine some of it is. At least water that's sat and very algified. Basically wet plant smell.
No sign of Tegwin. I have seen nothing either.
I was trained in the art of tracking, but this marshland has put my skill to the test. Let us listen for some sound of the boy. We must use all of our senses on this hunt. Hear the sounds of life in the marsh, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Let us continue our search.
Let's continue our search further to the west. Okay. So we're just going to end up sitting and listening again, I think. It is really pretty. I do really like how much foliage there is here compared to some other areas. Hello, Burb. I do hate that I am having a little bit of an issue, and to be fair, I've had it normally playing where foliage kind of pops in, pops out, and then pops back in. Not entirely sure what's been causing it. Just kind of following where the mini-map is pointing to. Well, it says I'm right on it, but I don't think so. Is it this little island? Yep, there we go. Abandoned wooden sword.
This does seem to be Tegwin's sword.
This is not a good sign. Let us listen once more and hope this time we hear something. He may not have much time left. You hear very faintly someone calling for you to the northwest. This child is consistently and constantly trouble, I think. There we go.
I'm here.
There we go. I have a lizard to deal with. I was wondering where I was in combat. That explains it.
I'm here. I'm here.
Your adventuring lessons were not complete. You didn't mention how cold and damp it would be, or how often things would be trying to kill me. I stayed away from the embank because I'm no fool, but even the turtles have tried to snap at me. Or here tried to snap at me. Still, it's quite an adventure for my very first. If you're planning to scold me, you can forget about it, because I learned something important. I know where the Uruks are going. Well, that's either a good thing or a bad thing.
You would have been very proud of me. I'm certain of it.
I hid in the brush and didn't move an inch, and the scouting party of Uruks came within a dozen feet of me. They didn't see me, but I overheard them talking about the old elf city to the northeast. That's where they're going. It sounds like that's where they're wanting to go along. They're planning to join up with a bunch of their cronies when they get there. It's a good thing I went exploring, isn't it? Maybe you'll tell my parents I did the right thing? I think you're still gonna get scolded.
The old elf city. That must be Karas Galebrin.
It is located on the hill to the east, and last I heard, one of my former kinsmen have set up a camp not far from there. His name is Dundil, and if Tegwin spoke true, he should be warned the Urks possess some design upon the city. I will bring the boy back to Mossward, and join you at the camp when Tegwin is safely returned to his parents. Scout the elf city with his help, but do not get too close without me. Okay. We do not know, or not yet know, what the Urks seek. I believe they are simply raiders, but if they do Sermon's bidding in this land, there must be something else. One more thing. It may not matter, not really, but I should tell you this before you speak with him. When I departed this land with my kin and came south, I did not part on good terms with my people. If he seems standoffish to you, it's because of that. Do not let it trouble you or interfere with the good we seek to do in this land. May fortune go with you, my friend. How did you manage to upset that particular group of people? I do not know. I'll switch that up for now. I'll keep an eye out for another blade to drop, hopefully. But if I'm fighting humanoid enemies next, I'm assuming I'm going to be fighting the Urkai. I'll probably get another blade to drop, which would be really good, because then I can just switch out both blades and it'll fix a lot of problems I'm having. I'll also take a really quick break once I get there. Because I think in the next part of the quests will get really interesting. And I definitely kind of want to see where they will go, but do that, get that sorted, and then I'll really quickly finish up the city I'm passing by that I didn't quite finish all the quests in before we get too far ahead of ourselves, because I do want to take time and enjoy the quest even if I'm a little bit over leveled by the time I'm done. Also, I'll probably, if I get to level 15, make a one-man kinship for this character specifically for a little bit of extra storage later. Meaning I'll have to figure out what I want to name it, because I have a name in mind, but I don't know if it'll work. It might, however. Oh, and the dogs have things to say in the background. They have plenty to say. I'm assuming it's, hey, the door is opening for us to go outside. Or somebody left the house. I think somebody had to go... Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Somebody's left the house to go take packages to the post office. So they're having a little bit of a howl at being left alone, supposedly. It's either that or the train, and I don't think the train's gone by yet. So I'm very sorry about the sheer amount of background noise out of them. It doesn't tend to last long. It's just them voicing their opinion on being left behind and not taken on a car ride. The sad news is our poor cattle dog can't quite howl, so he does his best at, he's got some high-pitched barks, and I think he realizes it's close enough, and he just kind of high-pitched barks along. While trying to get closer to the howling, but one of these days maybe he'll learn. Okay, I'm not too far off. I'll BRB once I get there, and once I go check on them and see what's going on. Make sure I don't run anything in the way. Whether or not I have to stop and fight something just yet. That might not quite be that lucky. Nope, okay, we made it without too much fanfare. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to pause there, and I'm really quickly going to BRB. I will be back. There we go. Dogs are good. I had to really quickly flip and reseason a roast for later, but so far so good. Let's see what quest you have for me.
You say you bring word from Meneldir.
I have not spoken with him since he left us, disgraced by breaking the breaking of his oath. We were friends up once and grew up together in Tornlad? But he proved faithless. I am surprised only this, that he has not turned brigand, as we all assumed. Perhaps this as well, that he sends you with message of warning. What cares he for the folk of this land or any other? Still, the message you bring arrives late. We've been watching Arx move behind the walls of Karis Glebrin for several days now. They are looking for something, but what that might be, we have yet to discover. Sometimes the English is written just a tad bit funky for me to read. I encourage you to climb the sloping path to the southeast that leads up the ruins. Perhaps you'll find something we have not.
I've been keeping watch over these lands for quite some time. And I
Many
thought
travelers have been attacked by wargs of
shadow
late.
grows bolder.
I have been keeping watch for these lands for quite some time. It troubles me that the shadow grows bolder. We must be vigilant, or the shadow will consume these lands. I would ask that you investigate the hills to the north across the river. That is the site of the most recent attack, and you will most likely find wargs, and when you do, eliminate them. Rumors have spread, and I fear the White Hand approaches.
Well met. Are you heading west?
If so, I have a boon to ask for you. Along the banks of the land, as in Wadewater, grows a plant known to some as Flowering Rush. This plant is edible, and I will admit that my craving for it has brought me all this way. I was sent back here with my tail between my legs, however, the dread turtles are too fierce and have a taste for the rushes as well. Please, if you are in the area, would you bring me back any of the rushes that you might find? Interesting.
Naught but ruins remain of the proud kingdoms of old.
Karis Glebrin, the Silver Bastion, must be cleared of the hostile forces that inhabit it. I care not what creatures they be. If they wish to harm the elves or the places held dear by our people, they must be defeated.
Many are the wounds of war that scar these lands.
Karis Glebrin lies in ruins, but it is a place of much significance to our people. We should not allow Urks or other hateful creatures to spoil its once proud lands. Can I ask you to scout several of the approaches to the city? There is a bridge to the northeast and a riverbank to the southwest, and each of these would be used by our enemies to surprise us. There is also a sloping hill to the southeast that rises to Karis Glebrin proper and should be scouted as well.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Over the water, a bit away from here, is, I cannot pronounce that, forgive me, home to vicious turtles whose beak are strong enough to bite through, well, I shudder to think on it. My companion wandered that way yesterday to look at the ruins, and he has yet to return. Please keep watch for him if you are heading that way.
Stay a moment.
I loathe to harm wildlife, but the dread turtles have overbred and are straining local resources. If you reduce their numbers, I shall reward you. Fair enough.
Greetings, friend.
Not entirely sure why turtles are the issue that they are, to be fair, but I think I can deal with that one. Let's go deal with these turtles, and then I'll go up into the Elven Ruins proper. This might also only be about a 2-hour, 3-hour stream. So my voice is not having a good day. I think it was ways to go. Hello, Cece. This island, I'm assuming? Yes and no, maybe. Yeah, a little bit more this way. That must be kind of in this area. I don't think that's quite the right turtle. But this is where these are. Annoyingly aggressive. That is definitely one way to describe something. There we go. Ooh, okay. Hello. Don't want to take you out. Probably, to be fair. If I can. I may have bit off more than I could chew. I don't have a heal, aside from what's in here, which I might be having to use. Yep. Okay. So we're not going to try that again, because, Turtle's definitely going to beat me. Oh, darn. His health is gone, and mine is still loading back in. Okay. That sucks. Hi, buddy. It'd be nice if your health would stay lower. Rare elites are nice, because normally they drop something pretty rare. I'm assuming it is the case with that one, but, that is a problem for later situation. I assume it's probably a crafting piece. I don't know what the rare piece for this level would be, but normally there's a rare crafting piece that all of the professions use for crafting stuff. I'm assuming it's probably what it is that it drops. Oh, hey, we found the elf.
What do you need?
You were in just in time. I'm afraid I have got my foot trapped here. I managed to fend off the turtles this far, but help is appreciated. What is your foot stuck in? There we go. I can make my way back to the place on my own now. Thank you for your assistance. Oh, there we go. I have to move that skill here in a second. Huh. Well, that's interesting that these two things are here. Point, put it there. And scoot the travel skill over. Ooh, there's my summons debris. I think I shall also be getting a class quest here pretty soon. Maybe that's a little bit further. I need 4 more turtles. Oh. Well, thank you for sending me flying, apparently. How I am doing that around a tree, I do not know, but I'll take it. Move that one from now, because I don't need to actually track something that's not even in the same region I'm in. It won't help so much. Okay, let's go take all the stuff back to that one elf, and tell her that I also took out the turtles. see what I get as far as gear goes. Also use the horse I don't normally use, but that's fine. To get some exercise instead of being sitting in my bar all the time, not used. Nope. Can't we have that little scouting part that we need to do? Did I overshoot slightly? Oh, nope, there it is. Okay. Turn these in so it's a little bit easier to track the ones I am working on. At least I think they're in here. Oh, yep, there's the tents. They're really pretty at night because they actually glow.
Ah, you are most welcome back.
I see the turtles are not too much for you to handle. I'm looking forward to cooking these rushes up right away. You have my thanks.
What do you need?
I thank you for your attention to this task. It's no easy feat to defeat a dread turtle. You have my thanks. And there we go. Yeah, first little area to scout is right here, it looks like. Or up further. There's actually this thing over here. Oh no, this counts as well. There's just something up there that also counts. I think it's probably further up then. I'm going to assume what's meant is this gateway. No? Oh, bridge. There we go. Yep. Bridge is clear for now. But I'm going to go across that just yet, because if I remember right, that takes me immediately into a much higher level area. Which is not particularly fun. I'm assuming the arrow's actually pointing me up. Oh no, there we go. Arrow slain Uruk. You pull an arrow from the Uruk's back, the arrows of fine elf make. Same with this one. You retrieve an elf arrow from the other corpse and hear someone calling to you.
Those are my arrows. Return them to me and I can slay more Uruks.
I think this is in everyone's interest, is it not? Yep. Hang on, what? We used to have a thing where it'd be like, this is most important, this is least important, etc., etc. I'm going to continue assuming this is a might-based class.
I am pleased to see we share a purpose. Or at least we have our hatred of orc kind in common.
Oh no, it's actually probably an agility-based class. Whoops. I'm pleased to see we share a purpose, or at least we have our hatred of orc kind in common. I come from distant Imladris on a journey of my own, but hearing of Uruks abroad in Eregion caused me to divert my steps. I study these creatures wherever I find them, and will bring word of what I've seen back to Elrond when I know more. You tell them that the Urks speak of the wizard Surman as if if he is their master. That is most concerning, but a dead Urk serves no master. Let us kill these creatures that stalk the ruins, and afterwards we can discuss if they spoke true or falsehood. Interesting. So I need to remember to grab agility-based items after this. And there are quite a few. I'm just going to be treated like it is definitely a medium armor class. Treat it like it's Berg, basically. Gear-wise. There you go. Waiting to see if there's any more. I think I'm gonna go back and then I have to go back in, I think, for more of these guys. Oh, quite a bit of lag. What's in here? Because I'll gladly take whatever it is. If I can't use it, definitely one of my alts can. Okay, 3 more. There we go. 2 more now. Are you on the other side of the wall? Oh, you are. Well, that's my problem. Grab that. There we go. And I think, can I talk this one into coming off the wall? Oh, well, not my best decision to jump that, but I did. That would be black speech that I cannot read.
Slaying Uruks may be its own reward, but finding a clue to their purpose here is even better.
I understand you found a report on one of the creatures. You hand the parchment to them, and she studies it intently. It gives me no joy to read the black speech, but it is much worse to speak than it is to read. Here's what this report says, in a language that does not cruelly twist my tongue. Warriors, scouts of the old forges in Holland find the records of elvish jewel craft. I want not worthless trash, I desire lore. The elves made rings there, I wish to find their lost artisan knowledge. This is worse than I expected. For some unfathomable purpose, Surman the White has betrayed us. He seeks the ring lore of Eregion, and has sent the Urks to obtain it.
The elves of Eregion were deceived before by
Eregion.
gifts and promises of secret knowledge.
It is a lesson hard learned, and I have spent these many years believing it to be true. We learned it well. Indeed, I say we, for I dwelt at Celebrimbor City in the days. It was a grand sight of art and learning, its wide green lawns and smooth stone lanes to be found on both sides of the river. The Jewel Town and Celebrimbor the Silver Bastion. It was a welcoming place, too welcoming. I ask you to return to the city above and see the state of it. There may be artifacts within we should keep from the Urigs, and from their master, whether he be a wizard or no. I will examine whatever you find, and judge if there is still danger for the elves among the bones of Celebrimbor's citadel, or if only grief still be found. Okay, well, let's see what I can find. Take you out, sir. I'm sorry. Particularly, I'm going to try to sneak around you. If I can do this just a slight bit easier. Have I had another sword drop? I have not. I can still hope, though. To be fair, there's a really good chance I can get one to drop. Okay, we have a broken column that I need to take a look at. And a wooden chest. Thank you. I will gladly take some crafting goodies. Okay, and a cracked plate. The dogs have much to say again. And some more apples. I guess it would make sense there's a bunch of crafting materials here. If at once upon a time it was kind of a big crafting hub. Ooh, this is actually deep enough to have to swim. Okay, statue. Nope. There we go. Kept telling me I wasn't quite facing the target. The once proud statue of Celebrimbor now lies half buried in the earth. Well, it has been quite some time. The hammer, worn with age, nearly falls apart in your hand. Well, that doesn't seem like it'd be very useful. I think you need it in just a tad bit better shape to actually be able to use it. Nice. Okay, that's Slayer D done. I have to give it a second before it lets me do that skill again, and I can get the other debuff cleaned off. Nope, nope, never mind, it left on so. We're good. Okay. Last thing is over here, I think. Hello, bird. Goodbye, bird. Discarded pouch. That's gotta be in rough condition. Small pouch now contains only dust and splinters of rock. Yeah, I was gonna say, that is gonna definitely be in rough condition. Another lamp set illuminated Kara's Glibrin by night remains standing. It has been a very long time, and I imagine looters have been through here. Actually, I think it's been... Lore-wise, I think it'll explain it a little bit, but the amount of years in between is very significant if I'm understanding my timeline events correctly. Like, this, it does make sense that this is in honest to goodness tatters, regardless of it being attacked or not, just age-wise. Okay, now to talk to her again.
These are sad reminders of times long past.
But they are surely not what Saruman seeks in his place. My heart, I know for what he searches. It is the ring lore he desires, the same knowledge with which the builder of the city was ensnared. If he finds it, I fear he could work great evil upon the lands and the people of Middle-earth. Gazes at the horizon, obscured by distant fog. From the hilltops above you hear the harsh calls of Orkkind, even over the wind, and for a moment the elf warrior turns back to you. Or after a moment. I will tell you the tale of the Jewelborn in the Silver Bastion, or Jewel Town in the Silver Bastion, so you know how we were deceived, and you will know why it must not happen again. It is of Antharion I must speak, the giver of gifts, but you will know him by another name, for he is Sauron, and he is the enemy.
After the fall of Balerion, most of my people came to live in the land of Lindon to the west.
Under the benevolent rule of Gil-galad, bonds of friendship were made with the dwarves of Erd Luin, but a thriving trade in metal and gems with the people dwindled as Longbeards suffered war and disaster of their own. Yearning for mithril to fashion into the works of art and beauty, many of Noldor followed the dwarves as they journeyed eastward, led by Celebrimbor, descendant of Feanor. The elves settled in the holly-covered hills beneath the west gate of Khazad-dûm. There was once again friendship and trade between elf and dwarf, and Celebrimbor's city in Eregion thrived. Eregion is still a young kingdom, was still a young kingdom when the men of Numenor arrived. The king sailed up the river that I also cannot pronounce and embarked to explore Swanfleet on foot. He befriended Celebrimbor and forged alliances with the Elfsmith. In return, they taught some among his people the techniques of armor shaping and the graving of and moon runes. Okay. Ithildin? In time, Alderaan grew old and came no more to Karis Glabron, but the friendship between his people and mine endured. Their friendship endured, but it was tested. The Númenóreans were a seafaring people, and they had long exhausted the forests of their own island home. They hungered for timber to build more and mightier ships. The Lady Galadriel, who dwelt for the time in Eregion and often danced alongside the lily-covered waterways, despaired to see the toil taken upon the wide woodlands by Númenórean axes. When the shipbuilders began to dredge her beloved Swan fleet and build dikes to channel the waters, she entreated Celebrimbor to stop the men of Númenor from harming the land.
It pained Celebrimbor to see the woods and fens so ill-treated, but he did not want to harm his alliance with the men of Númenor.
He counseled them to take greater care of the land, but his words were not heeded. Galadriel's sorrow became too great, and she turned her attention to Lurlen and other distant lands. That is one heck of a long word. Celebrimbor gave up on the woods as lost, turning all his attention and skill towards mastering his craft. Together, Celebrimbor and his fellowship of jewelsmiths became the most renowned workers of riches in all Middle-earth. If they could not halt the slow degradation of the land's beauty, they would at least seek to supplement and preserve it through their craft. And so they were ensnared. Okay, so if I'm getting this correctly, this whole area used to be forest.
I can still see this city as it was during the height of its beauty.
Oh, wow.
So much was lost.
The Silver Bastion became a shining jewel itself, a beacon of art and music and culture that drew the attention and the love of many from distant lands. Karis Glabron and Mirobel became places of such beauty they recalled the fabled elf halls of old, and trade with Lindon thrived. But not all who watched this from afar watched with friendly eyes. The land of Mordor, to which he fled following the defeat of his master Morgoth, Sauron seethed. He feared the rising might of Númenor, and despite having drawn orcs and other fell creatures to his service, he knew he did not possess the overwhelming numbers with which his master dominated the world in past days of triumph. He devised a scheme by which he would use his enemy's weakness against him. So he came to Eregion in fair guise, masking his true nature.
He called himself Onthoron.
Okay, that's how it's pronounced, Onthoron. Word of your craft skill has spread far and wide, my lord Celebrimbor. Even to the uttermost west. I am humbled by your presence here, Alderaan. I see in your arrival an omen of good fortune. Accept my greeting and my welcome, you'll be my honored guest. Anthoron had gone first to Lindon, but Gil-galad mistrusted him and refused to treat with the strange newcomer. It was in Karis Glabron that the Lord of Gifts found one of whose lineage and whose hunger for secret knowledge made him the perfect target for Anthoron's promises. Celebrimbor could not resist, and before long the new rival became a mentor to him and the jewelsmiths of Eregion.
Not all who dwelled at Karis Glabron trusted this new arrival. Celeborn saw something in the Lord of Gifts that troubled him.
Yeah, Celeborn is who eventually believe marries Galadriel. Cannot say why I'm so disquieted. Or unknown. I share your unease, my lord. The Bright Company will go wherever you lead. Show us this threat and we will end it. But that is the heart of the problem, my friend. What is the threat? Though Galadriel had gone, Celeborn remained at Karas Celeborn. As Regan's chief defender, he refused to abandon these lands and sought instead to protect them from the stranger who had seized Celebrimbor's ear. Antheron hated the Bright Company and its deeds and summoned one threat after another to trouble them. Celeborn and his warriors were often drawn away from the city, and many a noble elf was slain in these engagements. But still, the Lord of the Bright Company could not connect these rising threats with the newcomer, Antheron, and his two ready smiles.
Despite the mistrust of some at Celebrimbor's city, Antheron did not remain idle. He gathered to himself promising students and gave to them secret knowledge. But whatever he taught them, always he held something in reserve. Always there was more to be learned, more instruction to be given.
How will we know when we have mastered what thou hast taught us? The most promising among you will know, Nemrithel. Or Nemrelith? Does not help when I already have issues reading via a very small amount of dyslexia and then add in this. Students were not his only pupils. As years passed, Antheron grew more and more brazen. Celebrimbor and his jewelsmiths fell further beneath his thumb, snared by his promise of secret knowledge and the working of crafts both beautiful and powerful. The Jewel Town and the Silver Bastion thrived, and the glory of Celebrimbor and his jewelsmiths only increased year after year. But the true masterpiece of Karas Celeborn was its ring forge.
Antheron convinced the jewelsmith to forge great rings of power. Long they toiled, until at last their work was complete.
A set of 7 and a set of 9. You are certain these great rings will help preserve the land? They will help protect the lands of those who wear them, my lord. Give them to the hole diggers and the feller of trees. Assuming he means the dwarves and the men. The degradations they will cause will be slowed. I called your rival an omen of good fortune, Lord of Gifts. And yet I undervalued the help you could provide. I serve the powers, my lord. As do I in all things. Celebrimbor gave the king of the dwarves and men the rings he had made, and for a time he knew peace, not knowing he had been deceived, not knowing what he had done would nearly undo the world. Shortly afterwards, Antheron departed. He would return to Rhegion only once more, and when he did, he would bring death and destruction with him. But after he was gone, Celebrimbor began to doubt. In time, suspicion awakened in his heart, and he began to worry that Antheron had ensnared him by his own greed in some devious scheme. He decided to use the art he had learned and forge 3 more great rings unknown to the treacherous Lord of Gifts. He believed he and his kinfolk could use these 3 rings for protection should matters go ill. Antheron returned to Mordor, and in the heart of his kingdom he cast aside his fair guise. He had no more need for deception. In Mordor, the Dark Lord Sauron saw the fulfillment of the scheme for which he had planned, walking unnoticed among his hated enemies for so many years.
You go on ahead. My words will guide you, but I go no further than this.
Okay, let's go see what there is to see here. This is such a really interesting, like, cinematic shot for how this works. Mind you, this is a lot of stairs.
In the fiery heat of Orodruin, Mount Doom, Sauron forged the ruling ring. One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them.
And there we actually finally meet him.
Where the shadows lie.
There we go. I think we end up teleporting right back where we were. Yep. Celebrimbor had kept one of the...
kept one of the three for his own.
At the moment that Sauron placed the ruling ring on his own finger, Celebrimbor knew his danger. He removed his ring and vowed to never wear it again, lest his mind be dominated by the Dark Lord. Those of the jewelsmiths who had similarly kept rings were made to give them up, some by force, and the 3 rings were sent in secret to hidden bearers. Messengers were sent to men, dwarves, and elves in which Celebrimbor admitted his folly and warned of the coming war. So were the folk made ready to defend Middle-earth, but it would not be enough to save Eregion from the ravages of Sauron. The gates of Mordor opened, and the enemies of Sauron came forth. He would seize as many of the rings of power as he could find, but the 3 remained hidden to him, and he touched them not.
The gates of Mordor? The armies of Sauron? What did I miss?
Surely it's not as bad as all that. Sauron has been dead for 3,000 years, and today Mordor is an empty land. Sometimes elves have trouble making the passage of years. I mean no offense.
I returned Tegwin to Mossward.
And while I was unable to coax a promise not to venture out again into the wilds, his parents gave him enough chores to keep him occupied, at least until adulthood, at which point I think our obligation to keep him safe must surely lapse. I swore no oath to the farmers of Swanfleet. He studies your expression and sighs heavily. Did not speak kindly of me, did he? I am not surprised. In my heart, I still hold the cause of the Dunedain most dear, but I understand my folk may not believe in it, and I cannot deny the breaking of my oath. But who is your new friend? If she hates Urgs as much as we do and is willing to aid us, perhaps she can help us track down several of their leaders. Rumor of 3 such villains have preceded me here, and I cannot help but think the work would go more quickly if we were to split up each of us to deal with one. And I've got the hiccups now.
I have hated Orkkind for much longer than you have been alive, Dunedain.
As for the oaths you have taken or broken, I know he to whom you are sworn or should be. I know what he desires to become, and ask not if I will help you, Ranger of the North. Ask instead if you are strong enough and courageous enough to lend any assistance to Bregleth of Imladris, of which she should have any need. She smirks at Lendir, and amused light dancing in her eyes. The ranger stares back, his mouth open. I will slay one of your Uruk leaders, and our elf will slay another. Can he be trusted to deal with the third? Show their locations to us on the High Elf's map, and we will see it done. Afterwards, we can meet at a camp of my people to the north of here. Interesting. I think I still have some quests I need to turn in down here, and I actually need to go back to the one town and finish up there. If I want to do any of the quests there. Which I think I should for the storyline's sake. Because we kind of zoomed past it. But I think the epics bounce back and forth a bit for this area. So it does work out.
Even so far from the lands of the enemy.
That is a good start,
Bread
perhaps.
on my heart.
Perhaps the creatures will remain in Karas Glebran will receive our message that they are not welcome. If they do not, neither will they escape our vengeance.
Many
It is good.
wounds of war that scar these lands.
It is good that the approach to Karas Glebran are mostly free of enemies, but my heart grieves that Uryx and other such foes have already stalked the lanes of the city. Thank you for your efforts on behalf of our people. Okay, there you go. Very, very vocal dogs today.
For you?
I think are on their way out the door. Which they tend to also have lots of words about. I have more quests to do.
What do you ask of me?
Ever since we got back, Murig and Darren have been rather withdrawn. Could you check on them for me? No, I'm not worried about them or anything. I simply want to make sure that they will be ready for whatever task lies ahead. You are definitely worried about them. Are they down below? Oh, yep, they are.
Aye.
If you came to try my famous bread, I'm afraid you've arrived too early. I'm still mixing the dough, as you can see. You know, making tinctures and poultices is not so different from baking. The right ingredients in the right proportions, treated with just the right touch, will yield something marvelous. I could use the same mixing bowl for both tasks. That was a joke. I would hope you're not using the same mixing bowl for both tasks.
Greetings.
As you know, there's a risk we may not have enough food to last winter. There's a healthy population of Avank out there in the Widewater. I'm sure if cooked properly, they might taste good. How are your butchering skills?
Greetings.
I'd love to get my hands on some Avank legs, or eggs, not legs, but I'm better at fighting people than I am beasts. It's a hip thing. Bending is hard in me. There is a big population of Avank in the Widewater. How many? Well, they are big eggs, so 6. Okay, so you want half a dozen eggs. Admittedly, reptilian eggs, so interesting is what I'm gonna say to that one.
We are all Devodiad in these lands.
Come to check on me. That's kind of you. I need to get my mind off of things, so I thought I'd come fish with my grandfather. I'll admit that recent events have unsettled me. Never thought I would like to apply my training skills to fighting my own people, or I would have to apply my training skills to fighting my own people. As much as I appreciate your concern, I'd like to be alone for a while. And they are teenagers.
We are all Devodiad in these lands.
I heard you and the scouts ran into some trouble. Tell me all about it. You summarize your recent experiences. Madog heaves a sigh and continues speaking, though not to you or seemingly anyone in particular. Part of why I wanted to help establish this place, our Lungarn, was hope to see our young people grow up away from the tragedy of our homeland. Our homeland is experiencing now. I guess it followed us here. Maybe it was a fool's hope all along. Silence stretches until Hilo quietly beckons you over.
I hope these dark days will soon be behind us.
Well, now, friend, as you can see from the racks full of fish back there, Madog and I have been busy. We don't have enough salt for our most recent catches, so they're just been air drying. Good folk in Mossburg dropped off some salt for us, but we haven't had a chance to apply it to the fish. Could you do that for us? The 5 racks closest to us are the ones that need it. And, he leans into whisper, don't worry about the old man. I'll keep him company. I will say, generally, hobbits are the most wholesome characters in the game, but you do find a few exceptions. Okay, there we go. Just need to talk to the person up here, I think so. And say that I checked on everybody.
What?
They've thrown themselves into their hobbies, good. It's better than having to watch them sulk. Me? Do I have something to take my mind off of it? Are you telling me I should get a hobby? I mean, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It is the 2-hour mark, though, and I am losing my voice more and more as I stream. So I am going to pause it here for now. The only thing I'll do is I'll make a kinship and that sort of stuff really quick, clean out my bags, possibly get my hands on another weapon, because I've missed one somehow. That'll just be really quick, like housekeeping stuff for this, but I won't do any quests or anything, so we'll pretty much start off exactly where I end. I don't think I really have any announcements right now. I think that's kind of it. Aside from not this Saturday, next Saturday, will be the walk to Mordor, if it's still continuing. As for next week, the time should be correct, and it shouldn't be the 10 a.m. times it's been now, because I think it's throwing a lot of people off, and I should be able to get the Assassin's Creed streams. I think yesterday I was just in a mood, so it was not going to be a good time to stream it, but yeah. Next week should be the 6 p.m. times, not the 10 a.m. times for me, Pacific time. So, it was fun. It is shorter. This week has just been a shorter week. We'll see if I end up having a cold next week. I'm hoping I don't. It was fun. I can't wait to actually continue this game as well, but this is definitely This one can be on Fridays or not. It just depends how my week goes. This one's just more for the nostalgia and having fun, whereas I do actually need to finish Assassin's Creed, and I do want to finish up a bit more Planet Crafter before I switch to Subnautica. Either way, was fun. Super happy to have you all here watching, and I will be back next week.